Contract signed for new Princess Margaret Hospital project. Government invests thousands in a new concrete road in the Mirror community. And an environmental health policy for Dominica is now in the draft stage.
You're watching GIS.
Work on new structures which will replace the old Princess Margaret Hospital will begin in 2013. On Friday, the governments of Dominica and the People's Republic of China signed an economic and technical cooperation agreement valued at $10 million for the construction of the new hospital. Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, who signed on behalf of the government of Dominica, describes the new Princess Margaret Hospital project as one which has been long overdue. The country's leader is delighted that such an important development project for Dominica will soon commence.
This is going to be a major project for me personally. In all the projects that would have been financed by China, this hospital for me personally would be among the better of projects because healthcare is so critical to the wealth of a nation. And while the government has been making investments in healthcare, I do not believe that we can see the optimal benefits of the investments in the present environment we are operating at the Princess Margaret Hospital. Clearly, this hospital that should have been replaced some 25, 30 years ago. But nonetheless, we will, in 2013, be replacing it once and for all and provide a better facility, a better environment for our citizens, where we can provide better health care to them.
The Prime Minister is especially grateful for the financial support coming from the People's Republic of China in this globally challenging economic time.
This is the level of assistance that China is giving to Dominica at a time when every country in the world is grappling with its own economic and fiscal challenges, including China. Notwithstanding that it is the second largest economy, it has its own challenges. But because of progressive policies by the Communist Party of China, they have been able to weather the storm, the economic and financial storm, better than most. And if they were to say to us, look, this 70 million RMB that we offered you and we're now signing this agreement, and we are unable to do so, we in Dominica would understand. Because at a time when countries, developing partners are giving less than they would normally give. But China has not only maintained its promises to us, it continues to even offer greater assistance in many, many areas. So we'd like to thank Ambassador profoundly and his staff and ask that he extend and conveys to his capital, his leaders, the gratitude of the government and people of Dominica for this very wonderful gift.
Chinese Ambassador to Dominica, His Excellency Wang Zonglai, signed on behalf of the Chinese government. He gave a commitment to continue working in the interest of the growing relationship between Dominica and the People's Republic of China.
As ambassador here, I promised that I should exert my efforts to join with you to build a more beautiful nature island. I will do my best to serve the common interests of the two countries and the two peoples.
A team of visiting Chinese architects last October toured the site for the construction of new buildings which will be added to the existing structures for the new Princess Margaret Hospital. Designs for the new hospital have been submitted to government for its scrutiny. The construction of the new Princess Margaret Hospital project is estimated to commence within 6 to 9 months, while construction is expected to be completed in 2 years. Now, Tarnia, the Prime Minister said in this story that that project is long overdue, and I'm inclined to agree. It's been a long time since the people of Dominica have been calling out for a new hospital, and now we are seeing things taking shape, and it's very satisfying.
Definitely it is, and I think this is a very important era in our development as a country. It will be the state-of-the-art hospital, and there's been lots of talk about Dominica's hospital getting the type of equipment that it requires, because you will appreciate that quite a number of Dominicans leave Dominica to seek medical attention abroad. And so if we have this hospital, it will allow for us to have our medical services sought right here. So yes, we are excited about this new venture. We are excited about Dominica having its state-of-the-art hospital. And this is all in keeping with government's policy of providing the best healthcare services for nationals.
Absolutely. It also brings to mind that Dominicans should be thankful for the kind of insight that the Prime Minister has. Right now, I'm thinking that we can trust the Prime Minister to seek the best way forward for all people, because sometimes even with all the criticism going around, it still looks like he knows what he's doing. And right now, coming out of that knowledge is a brand new hospital for the Dominican people. Okay,
so it's definitely something to look forward to. Moving along, the Venezuelan embassy on Monday held a wreath-laying ceremony to commemorate the 182nd anniversary of the death of South American liberator Simón Bolívar. Members of the diplomatic corps, government officials and friends gathered to lay a wreath at the foot of the cenotaph at the Simón Bolívar Square in Goodwill. Simón Bolívar played a major role in the independence movement in Latin America. Through his leadership, Bolivia, Ecuador, Panama, Colombia, Venezuela won their independence from Spain. Venezuela's ambassador to Dominica, Her Excellency Carmen Martinez de Grijalba, says although dead, the ideals and legacy of Simón Bolívar continue to live on.
You can see today the ALBA, Petrocaribe, CELAC, UNASUR, Mercosur, and all that is integration escape and inspiration in Simón Bolívar idea. Today we are commemorating around the world 182 years of the death of the liberator Simón Bolívar. But I think that Simón Bolívar is still alive with his idea, with his projects, and that is the reason we are today in Broso, in Dominica, commemorating this special day.
Simón Bolívar, who died at the age of 47, is buried in the National Pantheon of Venezuela.
An environmental health policy is now being drafted for Dominica. The policy, when finalized, will address the strengthening of environmental legislation and registration of the department as a professional body. Chief Environmental Health Officer Anthony Scotland told GIS News that restructuring of the Environmental Health Department is a major part of the 2013 vision.
The Environmental Department have reviewed the work program of the Environmental Department, and we have seen that there's a need to reorganize the environmental health. Now, when we talk environmental health, we're looking at a broad spectrum of environmental health in Dominica. It's not because it's not only confined in the Environmental Department. It is confined in a lot of other government agencies. So their role also have positive effects on environment. For example, water. Right now, the WASCO is the agency that produce water for consumption. And that WASCO have now put in systems in place that almost 95% of Dominica population now have access to potable water. You're looking at solid waste, which is another function of another corporation. Their responsibility to collect and dispose of the waste. You look at bureau standards, they're responsible for making standards that look at how to develop your environment, you understand? You're looking at agriculture, what is the policy in terms of food production, and these are the type of operations we're talking about.
Last week, stakeholders involved in environmental health met at a workshop where initial planning of the environmental health policy for Dominica took place.
This workshop we had was looking at a preliminary situation analysis of environmental health in Dominica in terms of the kind of conditions you have, the kind of disease you have in the type of contaminants you have in the environment. You also look at a vision, what you want to see in the future at that consultation. So a vision statement was presented, and then we had a facilitator from PAO, which is Mrs. Shirley Augustine, who dealt with how you develop a policy guidelines. From that discussion, we saw that we have a lot of work to do, because when she outlined some of the procedure and the research and data you need to get your background, your situation analysis background, we realized we have to do a lot of work. We have given ourselves by the end of April to come up with situation analysis, more in-depth situation analysis of environmental health in Dominica, and then from there we would develop a statement on that. And from there, we will proceed to the next level.
Scotland says feedback from that workshop will be put into a proposal document which will be presented to the Ministry of Health for review. Scotland is hoping that the new policy on environmental health will take effect by the end of 2013.
And a brand new concrete road in the village of Mero will make the driving experience in that part of the country a much more pleasant one, thanks to the visionary thinking and intervention of the government of Dominica. Mero in recent times has become increasingly popular, and Parliamentary Representative for the St. Joseph constituency, Honourable Kelva Darrow, believes this new project is timely.
This is a very important project because, as we know, Mero is a vibrant tourism community. And as a member of Parliament for the area, I felt it necessary to place tremendous emphasis on the rehabilitation of this road. This road will improve the aesthetics of this community to a very great extent, in that when the tourists and when the locals alike come into Mero, they can appreciate the work that we've done here.
The government of Dominica has invested over $50,000 on this important village road. The parliamentary representative is grateful to government for considering this project as a priority.
I must say thanks to the Prime Minister for his assistance, as well as the Minister of Public Works for already ensuring that this project came to fruition. The government of Dominica remains committed, and as a member of Parliament, I'll ensure that we continue to work together with the community here in Mero. If you go to the community of Mero, the villagers will tell you that no member of Parliament has paid interest to the road of Mero like I have done over the last few weeks.
The recently rehabilitated road in Mero extends from the entrance of that village to the end.
Representatives from the United Nations Development Programme, or the UNDP, held a consultation on the island to create a Millennium Development Goal, or MDG, acceleration plan. The meeting, called the first consultation in the acceleration plan, was held with stakeholders in the Financial Center conference room. Giving an overview of the background to the project and details of the MDG acceleration framework was Marsha Caddell. Caddell is program manager responsible for poverty reduction for the UNDP in Barbados and the OECS. The program manager explained that the MDG acceleration framework is a very precise 5-step strategy. She explained the first 2 steps.
The first step is to identify, based on the MDG targets and indicators, areas where the country or a particular community within the country is lagging, and to prioritize a focal area or areas for action. So to look at the data that you have and to, at a national level, have consultations like the one we're having today. To say, based on the data, what is it that it is absolutely necessary to see some immediate progress in by 2015? So step 2 is to, once you've looked at a focal area or areas that are lagging and that need some immediate attention, to identify national projects or programs that address that prioritized area, and to see what are the bottlenecks in those projects or programs. So that is, what are those critical factors that are adversely affecting the performance of the system or the project and slowing down progress.
Step 3 involves finding solutions for problems hindering the progress of the MDGs locally, and the 4th step has to do with framework monitoring. The final step is the presentation of a report detailing the findings, called the MDG Acceleration Plan. Also presenting at that meeting was Prema Corrett, who is Chief Statistician and head of the MDG's Monitoring Committee locally. Corrett gave information on Dominica's performance with regard to the 8 Millennium Goals. In the international fight to eradicate extreme poverty and hunger, the statistician reported that Dominica has so far achieved that goal.
Dominica has recorded a decrease in poverty, moving from 49% in total to 28.8% in 2009, with the indigent population, that is the very poor, moving down from 15% to 3.2%. The fact, therefore, that the number of indigent individuals in Dominica is relatively low provides an opportunity for the elimination of indigent headcount poverty. In addition, the decrease in headcount poverty and the sharp decrease in indigent chart the path to achieving the goal of half poverty by 2015. Even so, close attention must be paid to the indigent and those vulnerable to poverty so that the decrease in poverty can be sustained now and beyond.
Cadell, speaking to GIS News, summarized the motive for the presence of the United Nations Development Program on the island.
We are supporting the MDG Acceleration Framework here in the Commonwealth of Dominica. What that means is that we are working with the country to look at MDG achievement over the period from 2000 until now, to see where there are lags, to see where there are important targets and indicators that may not be met by 2015, and to work on removing the bottlenecks to achievement. The product of this will be an MDG acceleration plan, which is a very targeted document that provides a roadmap for achieving progress in the goal that the country has prioritized.
The United Nations Millennium Development Goals are the product of a promise made by 189 nations to free people from extreme poverty and multiple deprivations. GIS News will be bringing you more from that stakeholder consultation in Tuesday's newscast. And that's the English segment of the news. We now join McPherson St. Luce for the Creole highlights.
Allô tout le monde, bienvenue à cette nouvelle en créole, non moins c'est McPherson St. Luce. Premièrement, le département santé environ kaini en board pour gouverner le département salam. Parole sala sorti au chef du département santé environ Anthony Scotland.
Board ça qui comprise mon en wide ça que en gros hot section Dominic. C'est mon qui représente différentes entités. Différentes places, comme Glue, comme Solid Waste, Magie, Private Sector, vous comprenez? Mon quarry, mon qui est docteur, mon qui a regardé disease, comment disease la spread. So, board ça même qui va gouvernement, qui va département en vision, qui va département direction, comment il pour faire pour aider pour faire un environnement meilleur.
En autre nouvelle, le ministre de l'Agriculture travaille bien formidable à adresser la situation qui concerne les Black Cigar Token. Parole cela sorti officier quarantine, ministre de l'Agriculture, M. Ryan Ansem.
Le ministre de l'Agriculture a fait une première application avec un potent fongicide tilt. Et nous avons fait une deuxième application avec un autre potent fongicide, nous avons créé ça banquet. Et ça nous les moun. Stratégie ministre agriculture, pas seulement spray avec un chemical. Stratégie nous c'est un integrated pest management. Là nous avons dit moun pour nettoyer plan figure, nettoyer plan banane yo. Et ça même qui aide nous goumer contre maladie. Et en matnik place qu'on Hamake avec Central America. Yo ka fait un programme là yo qui est dit lifin. Là yo ka couper ces feuilles là qui ni maladie et sous an y a les spray et figue là ces feuilles là j'en maladie ou ka gaspiller l'argent so ça nous ka planter pour travailler ministre agriculture faire bagay sanitation et aider nous goumer contre maladie et nous ja spray parce que 2000 ak banane avec figue McPherson. Et ça même, c'est un travail bon. Et ça nous fait 2 semaines passées, nous avons commencé à couper ces abandoned fields là. Tout le monde Dominique. Nous commençons en sorte là, nous allons en east là, en south-east, nous finissons en south-east là. Et nous les éliminer tout abandoned field en pays pour aider nous goumer contre maladie ça. Abandon field même, c'est ça qui est en anglais, un source of inoculation. Si maladie en abandon field là, on est en commercial field, puis il peut affecter tout de suite. So ça nous l'aide moun. Black Sigatoka avec nous toujours.
Travail qu'a progrès à ces plusieurs projets de l'eau en 9 pays là. Travail à ces projets Capucin, Penville et puis en Benz, qui prend place à présent. En délégation gouvernement et puis de Wasco, visiter ces projets-là la semaine passée pour te voir progrès à ces projets-là. Secrétaire parlement en ministre de l'eau, Honorable Ivor Stevenson, fait parole comme un gouvernement bien satisfait de ces projets-là qui marchent. Honorable Stevenson fait parole que le gouvernement Dominique et puis policiers, c'est pour mener de l'eau potable tout un pays là. Projet de l'eau West Coast pays là qui a bâti à présent, qui a coûté 31 millions de dollars. Et puis finalement, ça fait où le comité tourisme Miro, qui a une plage là bien propre, sans même qu'à avancer pour le tourisme location salam.
Beach là, c'est best beach là en Dominique, Beach Miro. Et c'est les gens qui travaillent et puis tourisme là. You can nettoyer beach là, you can ensure les gens viennent là, you can mettre les ordures dans un bin, you can jeter dans le beach là. Et ça bon. Et moi qui mon parle pour Miro, moi je dis merci pour Miro Enhancement Committee qui travaille wed. You can travailler pour ensure c'est tourism product là c'est un standard. Et nous continuons pour faire travail ça là pour ensure les gens viennent Miro, locals, touristes, tout le monde. You can dire c'est un bien habitant viennent Miro.
Messieurs, mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nouvelles en créole pour à présent. Non moins, c'est McPherson et Luce. Qu'à souhaiter tout le monde une bonne saison Noël. Au revoir.
Up next is the tip of the day.
Together we build, together we strive. We see it all on your Government Information Service, Channel 7. This is the Government Information Service, bringing you all that you need to know about all that's happening in your country's development. GIS, you and your channel.
Here's a tip on the health benefits of honey. Honey is nature's energy booster due to its strength and energy-providing carbohydrates. Athletes in particular benefit from honey due to its ability to create endurance and decrease fatigue.
On the other hand, the fructose in honey is absorbed at a slower rate to give sustained energy. As opposed to refined sugar, honey keeps the body's sugar levels somewhat constant instead of spiking the blood sugar, which causes an energy crash.
And that's National Focus. As usual, we invite your suggestions or comments. Please feel free to drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm. Or you can visit our website at news.gov.dm.
Look us up on our GIS Dominica pages on both YouTube and Facebook. On behalf of the entire news production team, I'm Jarna Hector.
And I'm Tarnia Green. Thank you so much for watching.